Like a good story, our lives are filled with twists and turns. Think of your childhood. Now, think of a turning point, a set of events that fundamentally shaped your values, perceptions of yourself, your beliefs. I flunked first grade. I was told it was a privilege to be able to spend an extra year with my beloved teacher. My classmates knew better. I was different, less than. I started to experience such intense stomach pains that I would frequently leave school early. When my teachers would make me read aloud in front of the class, I was so humiliated. Didn't they know that I couldn't do that? Fortunately, my parents moved me into the public schools in fourth grade, and by fifth grade, I was flourishing. Until writing this, I didn't realize how much these events shaped who I am today. I value high quality education and work product. I value removing the barriers that prevent people from reaching their potential. I believed that failure was something to be avoided at all costs, and I felt victimized by the whims of others. My story also includes a turning point that occurred in my mid-40s during a period where I was experiencing great success in some leadership projects. I helped my parents grow their business enough to sell it and retire. I helped the PTA double its income. I helped a nonprofit that I truly believed in to greatly expand their funding, volunteer engagement, and people served. For the first time in my life, I clearly saw the dramatic impact and improvements that I could make in organizations and people's lives. My confidence grew along with my belief in myself. This confidence inspired me to experiment with not being a victim anymore. Before getting married, I was in a bad relationship. I started believing that it was dangerous to share my emotions. 20 years into a solid marriage, this belief and my emotional wall were keeping my husband and I separate, lonely, and longing for each other. I took an assessment in the book Quantum Love by Laura Berman. It became glaringly obvious that if I ever wanted us to have that close connection that we both were longing for, that I would have to get past my fear and take the risk to open up emotionally. The first time I exposed my soft underbelly, I was terrified, shaking like a leaf. Would he tear me down? Reject me? Would this put our marriage at risk? Fortunately, I married a good man. He was kind and understanding. Now, 5 years later, there's hardly anything that I won't share with him, and we are so much closer for it. Our lives are full of turning points, and we can create turning points by purposefully stepping outside of our comfort zone. I wish I knew 20 years ago that learning curves are a bit like roller coasters. The deeper you dive, the more upward momentum and gain is possible. I've spent much of my life on the kiddie roller coaster, avoiding failure at all costs. When I took my coaching certification program, I was thrown into an extreme roller coaster with enormous free falls, loop-de-loops, corkscrews. I was failing so often and it conflicted so badly with my self-image, I nearly quit. I'm so thankful that I didn't, because what a ride it has been. I have learned so much and grown so much. Who am I becoming? I am becoming someone who believes that emotional vulnerability is a sign of personal power. I'm taking risks and accepting the uncertainty and circumstances in order to spur on my growth. I'm getting more comfortable and, in fact, at times excited about not knowing how things are going to turn out and who I'm going to become. While it sounds a little narcissistic, it's kind of exciting to discover my potential. Who are you becoming? What's your story, your past, present, your future? What turning points have you experienced that fundamentally shaped your values, beliefs, and self-perceptions? Who would you like to become? What risks are you willing to take to get there? I challenge you to dig deep, share your story with someone that you trust, and see what you discover. Then commit to taking a few steps that will move you in the direction of your dreams. George Eliot said, "It's never too late to become who you may have been." And Francis Bacon Sr. advises, "Begin doing what you want to do now. We do not have an eternity. We have just this moment, sparkling in our hand like a star and melting like a snowflake."